good morning, everyone. Happy to slay and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I advise and empower women professionals, especially women veterans, to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain and attract lucrative opportunities. And we are focusing on 4 specific areas: appearance, body language, communication skills, and your digital presence. Why? Because nowadays, y'all, it's not enough. Okay, it's not enough just to be great in whatever you're doing. You really have to put yourself out there. And today we're going to talk about why now is the time to elevate your brand. Where do we begin from? We begin from the slay philosophy, if you will. Okay, the word slay. It means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym that stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that really resonate with me the most, that I used for, I don't know, over 30 years now. And that is to stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, and knowing you are built to last. So if you are here live with me this morning, please make sure you drop it into the comments where you're streaming it in from, who you are, so I can give you a proper shout out. It is going to be a slay amazing day. Okay. Now, before I get started into the conversation, I always want to share like how I worked out, what I did, and so forth and so on. So I did get up and I did a 30-minute interval run. And then I went on my spin bike and did a little boot camp with spin and lifting weights. And I feel absolutely great. It's supposed to be snowing in our neck of the woods. All right. Starting at like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what the weather situation is looking like where you are at, but guess what? In my world, we are shining. Okay. We woke up, we are alive. And when you come to hear about personal branding, because that's what we talk about here on the Rise and Slay Show, know that it is with purpose. All right. With power. And I'm bringing a whole lot of fire. Okay. That's what Slay to Success does. We bring a whole lot of fire. So, as we go into this conversation, y'all, I want you to understand why I am doing personal branding. Okay. I know that a lot of people are like, I'm still confused. I'm not quite sure what she's saying. Right. Well, as your personal brand strategist or expert, an image consultant, as well as a 4-time author, a speaker, and a United States Air Force veteran of 30 years. I took all of what I have learned, my 30 years of military leadership experience, I have transformed them from those challenges, barriers, roadblocks that I had into lessons. And now I am empowering other women to step up. All right. Based on what I have learned, I have a lot of knowledge, I have a lot of experience, and I'm sharing that and how you can leverage that. All right. It is the competitive advantage. And so, what I have been able to do is get on a lot of stages, speaking engagements, presenting workshops, as well as writing books. And most importantly, I have gotten to share my message from my background. A lot of people don't get it and understand because they have not walked into the shoes that I have walked into. So I am shedding light, all right, on what that experience was like. It is not a woe is me. It didn't happen to me. It happened for me. And I'm absolutely grateful that I get to help people, specifically women, all right, to elevate, dominate, and own in their next chapter. This is my next chapter. Okay. And so I want to do it with ease, with flow, and it's me. Okay. And so I want to talk to you why it's important that we elevate our brand right now. We are in unprecedented times. Look at the news, whatever the social rhetoric is. I don't really get into all the politics and all that, right? but there is a lot of things that are happening. And one of the things that we're losing our own selves in all of this. So, have you been playing small? That's the question that I want to ask you right now when it comes to your personal brand. All right. Have you been waiting just for that perfect time to show up as a powerhouse that you are? And I'm telling you right now, the time is now. The time is now. I'm not waiting. I don't have folks like, well, I don't reach out to anybody and be like, me. You know what I mean? I have just been putting myself out there, and then opportunities are coming to me. People are asking me to come into their organizations. They're asking me to help them. I have a number of clients that I'm working with right now, y'all, who want to rebrand themselves because they understand that if they don't change their values or, update to their values, to, what they believe in, to where they want to go, they're just not going to get there. Okay. And so I help folks to really figure that out. So it's the important time right now to invest in your personal brand. And how are we going to take it to the next level? How are we going to take it to the next level? So everything is changing. I got my notes here, right, y'all? The job market is evolving. AI is taking over, y'all. Okay. The economy is unpredictable. I was just talking to one of the women that has their son in basketball, as you know, AJ's in basketball, y'all. And we were talking about how unpredictable the economy is. People are not quite sure whether or not they're going to have a job. So there's so much going on. And let's be for real, y'all. Competition is fierce. It's so fierce nowadays. So we're living in an area where standing out isn't an option. It's absolutely necessary. So if you're not actively building your personal brand, you're really blending into the background while someone else is stepping up into the spotlight. Again, I have conversations with women all the time. I don't know why they didn't pick me. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm, capable of. Listen, you are a powerhouse, especially if you're at my age. Again, I am not afraid to say I'm 52 years old. I've been through some stuff. You've been through some stuff. How do you leverage that and that works into your favor? And, when someone else is stepping into the spotlight that you know that you should be in, and you're just sitting there, it's a dangerous place to be in. Because in today's world, being qualified isn't enough, y'all. It's being visible, it's being valuable, and it's being unforgettable. That's what's winning right now. If you can be top of mind for your respective industry or field, it's a game changer. Okay. Again, I had started really looking into like, who is me? Who is me? What am I doing out here? Okay. So let me also tell you something that's very shocking that I just found out. And it's a statistic. It says 77% of recruiters are looking at your online presence before they even consider calling you. What do you got on your social media platforms? And which platform are you leveraging? For me, it's LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn. Y'all know I'm showing up every day in here. Why? Because that's the platform that I'm getting the most opportunities from. I'm attracting a lot of opportunities, and they are in alignment with what I'm speaking about. All right. So which one are you leveraging? All right. That means before you step into any interview, before you pitch your business to a potential client, and before you even hit apply for that job that you're posting, people are Googling you. Okay. Go ahead, Google me. All right. If you're listening and you're not quite sure who I am, and you're like, oh, she's new, like I've never heard of her before, that's okay. Right. Go ahead and Google me. There's a lot going on because I have intentionally, hyper intentionally worked on my brand. So when somebody is looking to see to bring me in, they already see that I am doing, actively doing things. All right. So here's the truth. I mean, you got to understand that people are Googling you. They're checking out your LinkedIn. They're checking out your Facebook. They're checking out your YouTube. All right. They're checking out your Instagram. They're checking out your Twitter, whatever platform that you're using. And they're making a decision about you before you ever say a word. So here's the question. What does your personal brand say about you right now? What does it say? All right. Does it scream confidence, credibility, and expertise? Or does it whisper uncertainty, inconsistency, and confusion? Right? Because your personal brand isn't just about these logos. I know that a lot of times we have brand strategists, brand experts, or whatnot. They're like, okay, like we got to work on this logo. All right. Which is part of it, but it is not the entire makeup of your personal brand, or these fancy headshots. All right. Where again, you can put some fancy headshots out there, but when I see you in person and it looks totally different from what you got onto your headshot, that's inconsistency for me. That's not how you roll. All right. So there's a lot of people who are putting themselves out there and they know that that's not their truest self. They're just doing it for marketing purposes. All right. But we have to be in alignment. Okay. Yes, Queen. Thank you very much. I love the yellow too. I got the pink in it, the pink earrings because, that's the signature color. But, we have to be able to expand and, look to see how we can incorporate other parts, and I do love yellow too. And I was like, yellow and pink, yellow and pink. So thank you so much. And again, thank you for spending time with me this morning. I know there's a lot of things going on, and you decided to be with me this morning. So yes, got the pink. The pink is pinking. Okay. And it's almost Valentine's Day. All right. Y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it. My bae, which is my husband, is taking me out on Valentine's Day and on the Saturday. So not Friday, but Saturday. And the pink will be pinking. Okay. All right. So, and it's not about polished Instagram grids. I have seen a lot of Instagram feeds and I'm like, man, this is just so it's like, wow, this is perfect, right? Our personal brands are not perfect. It's the real you. Who are you when no one else is looking? It's deeper than this, all right? So your personal brand is the way you show up. It's your presence. It's your reputation. It's the way you make people feel, right? It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. And it's a story that you're telling to the world, whether you're intentional about it or not. And in a world that's now more connected than ever, your personal brand is your currency. It is the cash. It is the dollar sign. All right. People want real people to show up and explain to them. They want to be, I think my audience, the audience that I have, they like my transparency. Okay. They like my openness. They like my energy. I always get that. Love that energy, right? They love the inspiration that I bring, the positive energy, the positive thoughts that I have on the way that I go about doing stuff. Y'all, I am focused more than ever. And I am disciplined. As most of you know, I'm very structured, coming from the military background. So I don't need anyone breathing down my neck to tell me what I need to do to build my personal brand. All right. When you can get to that point, to that level of just being in the work, because that's what I've been doing, things start happening. Things are happening in real time because I decided that I wanted to make sure that I was not hiding, all right, boxing myself in, because that's not who I truly am, deep as at my core. So let me just tell you a little bit about the journey, if you will, being in the military and how it relates to where I'm at right now. So, about the 10th year mark, I had a superintendent come to me, which is someone that's, overseeing, a bunch of different clinics. And I was a medic, y'all. Okay. So I was medic for most of my career, minding my own business. I think I was starting an IV on a patient. And the superintendent comes in and she's like, Sergeant King, and that was my maiden name before I got married to Dominique, and our last name is now Hemingway. Well, my name is because his name was already Hemingway. You know what I mean. Anyway, she's like, Sergeant King, I want you to report to my office after you get done starting the IV and so forth and so on. I thought I was in trouble, y'all, because sometimes I was kind of out there, so I was like, oh no, I was partying this weekend. Maybe something happened. Maybe somebody told me that I was involved. I don't know. So anyway, she's like, Sergeant King, there's an opportunity and I want to put you in for the opportunity. And I'm like, okay. She says, yeah, independent duty medical technician. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. She's like, well, I need an answer by, tomorrow. I'm like, oh my gosh. I call my dad and I say, hey, Dad, because he was in the military for 23 years. I said, my superintendent came to me and asked me about being an independent duty medical technician. And he's like, baby, go ahead and say yes. Okay, I said yes. I did not chase down that opportunity. Second point. Okay, before I get to second point, let me get to Todd. Hey, Todd, happy birthday. I know your birthday was yesterday. So thank you so much for being here live with me this morning because you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Todd says, you are so right. How you show up on social media is what people will believe about you. Show up professionally, you attract professional opportunities. Show up petty, well, well, yeah, you're going to get an opportunity that is like, I didn't ask for this. This is not what I want. Well, what you showing on social medias is exactly where you should be. I did, again, I'm not waiting. I'm showing people, I'm creating opportunities for myself. I show up this is how I would show up if I would have been asked to go and present or to speak, so forth and so on. And I am in alignment with what I am trying to convey. And that is, you can rebrand yourself at any point in your life. It don't have to look like it did previously. You can reinvent and reimagine, right? But what is it that you want? You got to be very crystal clear on what you want and take the necessary steps to get there. I'm just saying, y'all, okay? So, second case in point, minding my business, y'all, and I was the family medicine flight chief at Nellis Air Force Base in Vegas. And I know that's a whole title, but I was overseeing over 70 medical technicians. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. And so I was focused on making sure our team was doing the right things as far as patient care, that we were gearing up so that physicians can come to get trained in that particular clinic. So one day, the command chief says, and the command chief is a person that oversees the base with two other people, which is a wing commander and a vice commander. And he comes in, he says, who's the flight chief of family medicine residency clinic? And I show up and go to the front. I said, sir, that's me. He said, all my kids are sick. I need an appointment for all of my kids. And so I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. So I'm going back to the back, y'all. I'm trying to find appointments for, his kids and so forth. And I'm just, trying to get it. I didn't get appointments for all of them, but I came back to the front and I said, hey, sir, I can get appointments for 3 of the 5. And he said, that will work. I said, the other 2, maybe at a different time, right? And they happen to be at the end of the week. Do you know, just from that experience alone, and that was like maybe a 15, 20-minute interaction, that he was chasing me down to become a first sergeant. I wasn't even thinking about becoming a first sergeant. Now, a first sergeant is someone who specifically focuses on the health and wellness of all peoples in a unit and team. And we're talking about anything from babies being born to unfortunately tragic incidences that happen where people are severely injured or unfortunately die. Okay. And I'm just trying to be really frank about it. But that is the pendulum swing. You can get one day get a call, that something is happening downrange and it's affecting the entire family that's back home. I intercede. I go in, I help, I have all these resources. He chased me down for a year. I wasn't even thinking about being no first sergeant. He called my career field manager. Again, I was an IDMT. He called the career field manager and told them that they needed me to be released before I even knew. He said, I need her to be released from the IDMT world, independent duty medical technician, to become a first sergeant. He came to my office and said, hey, I understand that you're the family medicine residency flight chief here, but I just called your career field manager and you have been released. And I am asking you to be a first sergeant because the way that you handle my situation is exactly what we need. Okay. Number 3, I'm minding my business again as a superintendent at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. And they said, hey, we need someone to be on the inspector general's team. The commander that I was working with at the time said, hey, I got somebody. Came back and told me, hey, and I was a senior master sergeant, which is, the rank right below a chief master sergeant. And she says, hey, I just put your name out for an opportunity that's, elevated opportunity. I was like, really? What is that for? Why? And I got there and I knew there was a reason why I was there. It's because hard work, determination, grit, grace, dedication, excellence, those were the traits that I was exhibiting and demonstrating, right? Yes, I'm slaying all day long, all day long. Why not? Why not? Okay. So, and you are too, Queen. All right. We in this thing together. So thank you so much, Karen, for being here with me live and listening in. And so then the last position that I served in was a command chief. And you know how I got to command chief? Minding my business, doing my work. All right. I was deployed in Jordan. I was flying in between Jordan and Kuwait, which is 800 miles apart from one another. There was 2 clinics, one in Kuwait, one in Jordan. Every 2 weeks, I was flying back and forth just to manage these 2 clinics. I went to we were in tents. I was in a tent. I log on to my computer just to, get some work in. And the command chief at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona, where I was stationed at, emailed me and said, I need you to get on a hotline as soon as you can. And then knowing the time difference between us two. So I found the right time. I got on the phone call and I said, hi, what's going on? Is there anything that I need to be aware of? And he said, yeah, you were ranked, okay, as one of the number 2. You were the number 2 chief on this base. What's that mean? Don't even know, y'all. They rank chiefs in the Air Force. And I don't know what they do in the other services, but they rank them in the Air Force. And I was being ranked as a number 2 chief at Luke Air Force Base. And he says, you're going to a short list. I don't even know what a short list is. Short list of 100 people to be selected to become a chief, command chief. Okay. I'm just working, y'all. I get back to Luke Air Force Base. They said, you got an appointment. The commander at Ellsworth Air Force Base wants to interview you. Interview me on the phone. And that was the only call that I had for as far as an interview. And I'm going to tell you this. It was because my brand was on point. That was it. I had been consistent. I was focused. I knew exactly what I needed to do in my job, and I was handling business. So why can't that translate now into the civilian sector? Well, I'm telling you, it's working. And this is what I'm doing is not just for entrepreneurs. It's for anyone who's in the corporate, space. You're transitioning careers. Maybe you're launching a business, and you're aspiring to be a business owner, or you're simply trying to get ahead. All right. So this is the secret weapon that I have been able to use, and our personal brand can then unlock doors. All right, without you even knowing it. So again, I took what I knew from the military and what I was capable of doing in that space. And now in the civilian sector, I'm doing it a little bit different and in my own unique way, but I'm standing out amongst the rest because I have been very intentional about the way that I'm moving. And people see it and they're getting a sense of it. They're like, hey, Queen, we need you to come over here. Hey, Queen, we're going to invite you to this special event. Hey, Queen, hey, there's a presentation, workshop that we want you to be involved with. We just want you to be in the audience, Queen, because you have a lot to share. And we know that once you in that space, you're going to bring the fire. That's our brand. All right. But I did have to start a little bit from, not from scratch, but from a fresh perspective. All right. I had to build the brand, the new brand, the rebrand. Okay. I had to create this content. I had to show up online, had to position myself as an expert. And the story is what it is. All right. I'm showing up. So this personal brand that I'm talking about, this strategy, the concept of building a brand, it's the security in an uncertain world. It's a leverage, it's a superpower, but only if you develop it, only if you are focusing on it. Because the most successful people that I know, all right, didn't wait for the perfect moment, they created it. All right. They built their personal brands when others are hesitating. To put myself out here online, I come up twice a week, right? Right here, Tuesday mornings, or, if I'm at a networking event or doing other things, it's another day of the week, but it's Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then I'm on here Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a guest. This is to showcase what I do and how I do it. And now personal brands are leading industries. They're commanding higher salaries, all right? And they're building legacies. So are you waiting for permission to stand in your greatness, or are you taking control of your brand today? All right. If you're not controlling your narrative, somebody else is. I'll just let you know that right now. And trust me, we don't want to leave our brands in the hands of anybody. The way the world that sees you directly impacts your career, your business, and in your future. So are you actively shaping your brand, or are you letting the world decide for you? Now, here's where I'm, offering an opportunity for some of us to really build a brand, not just any brand, a powerful brand. All right. In 2025. Tomorrow, I am doing an exclusive masterclass. What I share at this masterclass, I have not shared in any of my personal brand videos. I've not shared them on the Rise and Slay show, and I have not shared them on Slay to Success. All right. And in that space, I'm going to talk about, being unforgettable. What does it take? What are the steps? All right. And I already have over 20 women signed up, because these women are like, you know what? I'm ready. I am tired of just going through the motions. I need a strategy. I need something that I can hang my hat on. I need to be able to message what I do and how I do it, and be convicted, so convicted you ain't worried about what anybody else is saying. All right. And that is tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you haven't seen it, it's on my feeds. If you're on LinkedIn, I've been talking about it for the past 2 weeks now. All right. But we are going to be on Zoom. It's going to be virtual. This background right here, this is going to be converted into a different background. Why? Because it's an exclusive masterclass. It is not going to be the same. It's going to be different. And why am I doing a virtual masterclass? Because I understand my audience. I understand that sometimes you just can't get out and go to these particular events. out wherever you're at, right? I'm going to show up and I'm going to show out. And I'm going to allow you an opportunity to really think about your brand. What is it that you're trying to do? Where are you trying to go? All right, because right now I'm working with several women, and one of my women is aspiring to be a diplomat. Never done any of it before, but guess what? She's about to be a diplomat. All right, because we building her brand right now to where it says and screams, "I am a diplomat." So whatever it is that you are wanting to do in your next chapter, it is possible. There is no cap. There is no cap. All right. And the way that you do it is you position yourself so powerfully that you are the only viable option. All right. You are the only viable option because I don't see anybody else doing it like you do it. And I don't care how many people are in the space. There's 1,001 personal brand experts out here. I don't even care. I don't look at them. I see what I am capable of doing based on my knowledge and experience, and I am spinning it differently. And I have a different audience. Most of the audience members that come to me are my women veterans. Okay. And women veterans, sometimes we get into our own way. We think that we can't do, we can't be, and that's for somebody else. But I'm telling you right now, all the knowledge, the skills, the decision making, having the structure, the system, all of those, that's what I'm using right now. Okay. And building my own business and minding my own business. Okay. Yes, I know, right? These queens are just like, they are tired of living life in such a way where they just have to take it. I'm like, you don't just take the life. All right. You're going to create this blueprint for yourself. And all you're going to do is going to straight in, you're going to just go for it. You're just going to go for it. You have a plan. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. A SLAYin diplomat. Yes, queen. Hey, what's going on? Glad to see you here live with me this morning. Absolutely love that you're here. And you know, we're about to have our conversation, if you will, on the Slay to Success Talk Show one day. So I'm so glad that you're here with me, sister. Yeah, she's going to be a SLAYin diplomat because all my queens slay. All my queens slay. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you all this morning. I wanted to talk about why now is the time for you to elevate your brand. Let's stop waiting. Let's stop playing small. Let's put ourselves out there. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but you've been there before. All right, so there's no reason why you can't do it in this next, whatever your next is. Maybe you're going to a new career. Maybe you're starting a business. Maybe, you're just wanting a more fulfilled life. All right, do not miss out on an opportunity, okay, to come to the virtual masterclass that I'm offering tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will include the link, okay, on this feed. And so when you see it, just click on it and then you're able to register and hold your spot. Now, if you can't come live tomorrow because life is lifing and the schedules could be a thing. If you cannot come live, there will be a replay, but the replay is only for a few days. So just sign up anyway. If you can't come, you will get the replay. You will get all the tea. Okay, there will be no spilled tea. You will get all the tea on how to build a powerful personal brand in 2025 because these are unprecedented times and you don't know what's going to happen out here. But I want to know whether or not you ready. You ready to put yourself out there and create opportunities for yourself. And I'm not talking about any opportunities. I'm talking about lucrative opportunities. Okay. All right, y'all. So keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. I will see you all on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got my sister in arms who is coming on the show. Her name is Renee Hudson Jones. She's an Army veteran, and she's going to be sharing about living authentically beyond the uniform. All right. I was on her podcast last week, and she's going to be on my talk show this week. Okay. So keep on slaying, and I'll see you all very soon. Stay warm out here, and please stay safe, especially if you're expecting snow today.